Yeah, so I'm Josh King. I'm going to fly through this real quick, or at least I hope to. So if you've got any questions, reach out to me on Twitter at WindowsNZ. Um, so my sort of thing, toast notifications. I've got a module out there called Burnt Toast, but the bane of my existence with that at the moment is they're sort of useless. So at the moment, you can show information and you can do click actions and buttons, but all you can really do with those at the moment is open files or snooze and dismiss. So in this case, if I click picture, it'll load my work headshot. So that's all well and good. So you can use it for things like I've generated the report, I've saved it to disk. Hey, now instead of finding it, click the button to open it up. What would be really cool is if I could trigger some sort of PowerShell action based on those buttons or those click actions. So this dives into the weeds a bit, but behind the scenes with Toast, it's just an XML string to build it up. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens, but select everything that I need. What did that complain about? Helps if I select everything. But what I'm really interested in is the Toast type has events on them. So in theory, you should be able to subscribe to an activated event, dismissed event, or you tried to show the toast and it completely failed. So what you would normally do is register an object event, the object being your toast, and the event name being one of the ones from this list. And for this example, I just say, hey, I've got a folder, I've got a file in there, and I want to output the date into that whenever I activate the toast. But when I go and run that, very quickly find out that Windows PowerShell can't subscribe to Windows RT events. And just to show that toast does work and clicking it doesn't do anything. You'll notice that error message does specifically call out Windows PowerShell. So for completeness sake, let's try PowerShell 7. Still get the toast. Clicking it doesn't do anything because PowerShell can't subscribe to WinRT events. So that's a real pain. So I've had people suggest URI protocol handlers, and I've finally had a chance to look at them. And the end result is this. If I run this toast, I can see a notification pops up telling me that my wallpaper is boring, and it is a bit. It's grey and geometric and that, and I can pick a new one. So let's say I want raw. You would have seen a console pop up there, and my wallpaper's changed. If I run it again and say eggs, console pops up really quick. My wallpaper changes eventually, and now I have eggs. So the code behind all of this is a registry setting. And I'll give this all to the guys to post up on GitHub. But it's setting a value in the registry with a custom name. So I called it toast PS. And then you tell it to run a command. You'll notice it's calling a CMD file, and that really doesn't look nice in there, does it? It's running a CMD file, and unfortunately I haven't been able to get it to go directly to a PS1 file. So we use CMD as a middleman at the moment, and all it's doing is calling PowerShell exe and passing in the file that I want to run, which is my change wallpaper and the arguments. which is how then I choose which wallpaper to change to. That change wallpaper has a large function that I borrowed from that URL. And I'm taking the arguments which are here. So toast PS eggs, toast PS heart, toast PS raw. Grabbing just the wallpaper name because what's passed in is an argument includes toast PS and the colon. And then I call the function specifying the wallpaper. So just to show that one more time, this time I'll click the heart button, which is passing through an argument called toast PS heart. Runs that, goes through the command, goes through the CMD file and changes my wallpaper. So in theory, at that point, you can do almost anything you want with your notifications. So you can expect a blog post about it at some stage, because this is finally unlocks the potential of those toast notifications I've been doing for years. So look out for that.
That is super cool.
Super cool. Yeah, and then
and just to loop back, sorry, the button, my first button, you'll notice the argument here where it was toast PS eggs. On that first one where I'm launching a picture, the argument there is the path to the picture. So that's the change as far as the end user is concerned.